What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, let's have some fun with this video of Tyson Fury losing his cool with this guy, True Gordy, over comments that was made about the Derek Chisora fight. Let's get it.
Bearded, bald-headed tosser.
Welcome back to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Today's guest is the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. So, Tyson, how are you doing, mate? You alright?
Good.
Yeah? I've been thinking about this influencer boxing. I wondered if you'd seen KSI's last fight by any chance.
Just before we start, I've got 40 minutes, yeah? Because
Yeah,
I've got to be at the
that's
gym. That's plenty, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, go on. Continue. Sorry.
Alright, KSI's last fight. Did you see it?
I didn't. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see him. When did he fight?
It was like a month ago. He was interested in fighting Tommy. I think obviously him and Jake Paul have got this thing. Tommy's involved. I wondered what you thought
I'm
of it.
actually in training camp for a real fight. So yeah, I don't watch all that YouTube stuff.
All right.
Not that I've got anything against it. I think it's great for the sport and great for the people who do it. Great for everybody. But it's not my cup of tea. If I want to see a real fight, I go down to a Morecambe Boozer on a Friday night and I watch a fight.
Wilder, your former obviously fighting recently, and he won by knockout. Had a bit of a cry afterwards. Seemed a bit of a different bloke. What did you make of that? Very different the way he was with you after the fights.
Maybe I knocked a bit of sense into him, and maybe he's been humble from the 3 beatings that I gave the sucker. He's a former knockout victim of the Gypsy King.
Do you think that softened him up a little bit and made him realise that maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. You never know, though, you know. Man's got to do what man's got to do, and if that's what he needs to do, then that's what he needs to do.
It's interesting because he showed you no respect after the fight, and yet then there he is crying. It was bizarre for me to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's none of my business what they do, to be fair.
Conor Ben, that's the big news of the day. I wanted to get a little bit of your impression of this. He tested positive for a female fertility drug, and obviously we were hearing from Eddie Hearn that when everything comes out, we'll all realise that Conor was probably innocent. Today it's come out that 2 tests from 2 separate occasions from a month apart, or at least a month apart, were both positive. And the only thing that they're saying is contamination is what their excuse for it. What do you make of it?
Again, it's none of my business, so don't get involved. And again, like you're speaking to Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. I am my own man. I'm not a sheep. I don't follow the cliche of, oh, let's talk about someone because it's in fashion. I don't give a toss what they do. None of my business. I keep this nose in what concerns me. And I don't get involved in other people's business. Period.
Right.
Okay, just want to say, Fury kind of seemed like he had a chip on his shoulder from the very beginning of this interview, like he didn't really want to do it. But to even hear him just say, you know, everything is none of my business, none of my business, I can respect that. If a person just feel like they don't want to get involved, but Fury's full of shit, because when Fury wants to talk shit about a person, whether it's an opponent or not an opponent of his, he speaks when he wants to speak. When he wants to insult people, that's what he does. So, yeah. Just you know, wanted to see if y'all was paying attention to that too as well. From the very beginning, he seemed like he didn't really want to do this interview with this particular guy.
Okay, fair play.
Conor Bez does. He's about 10 stone. He's not in my division. I don't focus on what they do in their lives. I've no interest what fertility drug they take. Don't care. Maybe he's trying for twins and he's taking IVF. Don't know. And I don't really care.
I guess the part of the reason I was interested is because Eddie Hearn was one of the biggest speakers on behalf of Conor Ben. And you've had your back and forths with Eddie. And in regards to the Anthony Joshua fight collapse, which is your business, he tried to point the finger at you, blaming you for your deadlines, saying it was your fault and not his fault. Looking back at that whole situation, it did become a bit of a mess. How do you feel about that now?
You know, I'm over Eddie Hearn and Joshua. So if they want to blame me, blame me. I'll take the blame, no problem. It was all me. I'm scared. Muscles, them weights he lifts, and all the, how much of a badass he is, and those 3 losses in his last 5 fights absolutely terrified me. So yeah, blame me. I'm the man. I'll be the fall guy. Don't care. I'm just over them. Don't want to mention them. Not interested in them at all. There will be no more contact or no more mention of those suckers.
Really?
Back of the queue.
Remember he said
out
that.
the line and in the cold of the wolves. Nowhere to go.
Because
Had the chance and blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They blamed it on these deadlines you set, and I guess the confusion.
Yeah, I don't blame them for blaming it on the deadlines. Probably good bit of blaming. Deadlines, you know. If there's a deadline set, you know what a deadline means, don't we? Do we all know what a deadline means?
I hear you. Yeah. I mean,
if you don't do something in a certain time when someone's chucking you a bone or giving you a job, then you lose that opportunity. And that opportunity is now flown. So, you know, it's no interest what they do in their lives or their careers. I wish them nothing but the best of luck.
The confusion comes from the outside looking in anyway, and this is something that a lot of your fans have commented on, is Chisora has the same promoter, same management team, and yet he didn't get a deadline. Is there a reason for that?
Chisora didn't get a deadline. Chisora just agreed.
Or publicly, there was no deadline to our knowledge, because obviously he made it very public about the AJ deadline, whereas Chisora seemed to get extra time, and that seemed to be a much smoother process. Why was that different?
Chisora's got balls.
Stop. You was trying to fight Manuel Char.
Chisora's got balls. Stepped up to the plate, agreed to the fight, agreed to everything that was on the table.
As a fan point of view, obviously I make videos.
I gotta call bullshit on that. Do you guys, now you heard what he just said, Chisora's got balls. He's willing to step up to the plate. He said the same thing about Manuel Char. The difference between Manuel Char and Derek Chisora is Derek Chisora at least is respected. Manuel Char is not known. This dude had the nerve to even say, you're better off going with Derek Chisora. Because at least he has recognition. Nobody knows who Usyk is. Well, didn't Usyk fight Derek Chisora and beat him? So even to make that stupid excuse, who knows Manuel Char? He got roasted for that Manuel Char fight. Figure, you know what? We'll go with Derek Chisora between the two. It's still 2 easy wins. And you about to fight a motherfucker that you already beat twice and got 12 fucking losses. I don't want to hear that bullshit about Derek War Chisora. Derek Chisora is a journeyman. And let's not forget, when they were ringside at the fight, Derek Chisora was saying, I want the fight. Remember that. And he's telling them, you know, you got beat by this guy, and all that. And then he's like, look, I want the fight. He's like, do you want the fight? He's like, okay, well, sign the contract. He said, okay, that's the thing. For me to sign the contract, you have to send the contract. Stop it. Derek Chisora had to beg you for that fight. Even though his name and Manuel Char were the 2 names that came up when you was planning your duck, duck, goose escape from fighting AJ. I can see already Tyson Fury's rattled because this guy's asking him questions he don't want to answer. See, when you're being interviewed by someone that's not kissing your ass, they don't like that. When it's and the guy is giving him his props and his credit, even calling himself a fan of Fury's. But this is how Fury reacts to fans when the interview is not about getting his ass kissed. He even trying to say, like, you know, Eddie's trying to blame it on you and this and that. But Fury don't like the fact that this guy's asking him questions that basically needs answering, because he knows for you to ask me these questions, you must think I'm full of shit. Simple.
Well, ultimately, I'm a fan of you. You're one of my favorite fighters, and the things
Still,
that
I'm
made
a fan
me,
of you. You're one of my favorite
connect
fighters.
with you and many others is like you always seem to take on challenges that other people wouldn't do. from Klitschko going into his
The
backyard.
motherfucker only got 5 world title fights.
After
his whole career,
playing
5.
Through,
Fury.
You know, the hell and back, and the way you took on your
You
mental
mean
health.
always take on the top
difficulties in
challenges?
public.
Bullshit.
I always felt like there's a man who takes on a challenge, and that's why this Chisora fight, I think, is rubbing people up the wrong way, is because it doesn't feel like you're doing your usual thing that we love you for, which is it's not a challenge for you.
What is a challenge, though? Getting an opponent's a challenge. That's the challenge. First of all, when I made him the return and comeback fight, I offered it to Alexander Usyk. He said he wanted the WBC crown, and it was held by gypsies. I think we all seen that video. I said it is held by gypsies, held by the Gypsy King, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. You want it? Come and get it. So he was offered a very lot of money, which I'm not at liberty to say on camera, to fight on December the 3rd.
You was talking about you only fight, they gave you $500 million.
Some stupidness like that. I don't know. I don't get involved in the nitty-gritty. So he declined it. So then I went to the...
Why not take the 6 months, though? Why not wait for a Usyk? Why get Chisora?
Because it's my career. Why would I wait for somebody else? Some little Ukrainian foreign bosser. It's on my terms. I run boxing. I don't dance to somebody else's tune. Their times will come. Whether they step up to the plate, they step up to the plate. But, you know...
You have a career, and it's their career as well. They don't have to dance to your tune. It's called a mutual respect. Same way, you have 1 belt, Usyk has 3. You tripping. You are tripping. He's talking like he has everything. Big ass ego, arrogant as fuck, and pretty much, you know, Fury is a fucking hypocrite, man. Like, just watching his demeanor and listening to him talk, he really think his shit don't stink. But at the end of the day, the same way how he's talking right now, there was a time Anthony Joshua was unified champion. He's no longer that. The same way he won't be. Whether it's because he retires undefeated or whether because somebody beat him, either way, he won't always be. And the same way how you're sitting here being so arrogant and talking like everybody needs you, you don't need nobody, that's bullshit. Because nobody cares about you fighting Derek Chisora. Nobody cared about you fighting Manuel Char. They want to see you fight the best guys. And then you sit there and call Usyk a foreigner, a Dawson, nobody knows him. But you're about to fight a guy that not only did you beat twice, but he also beat him. So they know Chisora, but they don't know Usyk. Stop with that bullshit, man. This dude is full of shit. He's so full of himself, man. It's like, I can't stomach even listening to him talk a lot of times. Like, he is like not the... Picture this guy right here versus the humble... I basically went through depression, lost 300 pounds and this, and I'm just thankful to be here. I don't care about the money and this, and it's yeah, whatever. Yeah.
When you get offered a fight by somebody and you're in a position to take it, you know what? You got to take it. Because if you
when you're in the position to take it, it's if he wants it. AJ's not broke.
That's all very logical, and definitely no arguments with what you said there. It's just that
Usyk isn't broke.
It feels like there could have been other fighters who you haven't fought in the top 15.
Of course.
Who would have also taken the opportunity, you know, who would have offered a lot more intrigue to your fans than Chisora, when you've obviously beaten Chisora so easily before.
Usyk beat Joshua, didn't he?
And he also beat Derek Chisora.
Pushed Usyk all the way, 50-50 fight. So if Chisora's no good, then neither is Usyk.
Well, potentially, but I mean, you know, that's a fair argument, but also it's more just the intrigue. For fans, we want
it's a fair argument, and this man is unified champion.
You beat Chisora with one
Chisora's
arm
never
back,
won
basically,
nothing.
And to a point where...
And stylistically is why Chisora was a problem.
I also beat Deontay Wilder twice and did a rematch with him. And I can guarantee you there won't be one person in the world who would not want to see a 4-fight.
That's bullshit. I don't want to see that shit.
So even if you want to go at liberty 2 times,
and that's what he's looking forward to.
Again, right?
He's looking forward to a 4th fight
because Deontay has that X factor in his hand, and
I don't want to
change the fight at any moment. Whereas Chisora, he's lost 50% of his last 50 in fights, and even the last fight he won was a razor-thin decision, and the other 3, his last 4 were losses. So
Deontay Wilder fans that want to see that fight, is like I've always said, so he can finally say he got one against him if he does. I think everybody is convinced, including Deontay Wilder fans. Fury can fight that motherfucker 25 times. He'll beat Deontay Wilder 25 times. Wilder just can't beat Fury. Because when he drops him, Fury makes it back up. And notice, even when he drops Fury, Fury has never got up and it's like stumbled all over the ring. He just goes down, he breathes, he gets his bearings, he gets up, and he's on steady legs. So at the end of the day, he just can't beat Fury. I don't give a shit about no fourth fight between them. For what? For what? He was gifted a draw. You stopped him and then knocked him out. What's the fourth fight for? Just saying. And he's telling them, Derek Chisora lost 50% of his fights. The guy got 12 fucking losses. Here you are, a world champion, and this is who you choose to fight. Okay.
Very close losses to
But he can't win very close
Oh,
losses.
they are high
He
level.
barely
There's
beat
no
Pulev.
doubt, yeah.
Yeah, he's had good victories along the way as well.
I just think that we've seen so much of you in Chisora, enough to know, has the old dog learned new tricks? I mean, he doesn't look like he's getting better with Parker battering him the way he did, and
Definitely.
it just looks
He's
like it's
getting
an
better.
easy money fight for you. I don't think that that's what you've put yourself across as you're about, which is why there's some
No, yes
confusion
it
there
is.
for your fans. You're like,
But it's also history making.
why is there history making?
I'm going to enlighten you.
Okay.
I'll be the first heavyweight champion in history to complete 2 trilogies. So
And-
now you know why it makes more
Bullshit.
sense to fight him than some
Gotta
other
call
person
bullshit.
nobody knows.
Now let me enlighten you, Fury. You won't be the first man to complete 2 trilogies. Muhammad Ali, 3 fights with Joe Frazier. Muhammad Ali, 3 fights with Ken Norton. You will not be the first man to complete 3 trilogies. You heard what this motherfucker just said. You probably got Fury fans right now going, well, what he meant was, well, he won all 3 fights. Ali lost to Frazier once, and he lost to Norton once. So what? That ain't what the fuck he just said. He just said, I'll be the first man in history to complete 2 trilogies. And the difference in that too is Ali's trilogies with Norton and Frazier made a lot more sense. Norton beat Ali the first time, Ali beat him the second time. Tiebreaker in the third. Ali lost to Frazier the first time, beat Frazier the second time. Tiebreaker in the third. What's the purpose of you fighting Wilder a 4th time? What's the purpose of you fighting fucking Derek Chisora a 3rd time? Easy money. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. It's easy money.
So also, you take the top 15. There is a few foreigners in there who nobody knows about. Yeah, with undefeated records. But when I
This
fight
guy's
them
always calling
foreigners,
somebody a
people
foreigner.
aren't interested anyway. You're better off with somebody you know who's a household name, who people can relate to and support and sing, oh, Derek Chisora, than somebody you can't even say the guy's name, who we've never heard of. He could be shit, he could be good. So you pick somebody out of the top 15, pick one. Anybody you want.
I mean,
They're pretty much, they're all
Joe
about the
Joyce.
same.
Joe Joyce.
Joe Joyce had just fought Joe Parker and even said publicly he wouldn't be ready for the 3rd.
Okay.
Don't forget, we've been through all of these names.
From my point of view, I hear you compared
Fuck
a lot
outta here.
to the greats.
You've been through all the names.
For me, you're right up there, you know, but the difference is I
No.
think with Muhammad Ali, with Lennox Lewis, you look back at their career and you can say, these guys fought everyone in their era.
You're damn right.
And right now, that seems to be a real struggle for you. I'm not saying it's your
There's
fault.
only
Muhammad Ali has fought, what? He has 25 world title fights. 25. Okay? 25. I don't remember Lennox's number, but it's way higher than his. This dude has only had 5. He is nowhere near being in the category of an all-time great. See, you motherfuckers take people from different eras and want to say, it's the same with Jordan. Any motherfucker have a good season, they start comparing him to Jordan. Motherfucker ain't got no rings or nothing, but you comparing him to Jordan. He has 5 world title fights. 5. Stop it. Stop it.
only Joshua left of my era. That's it. And you couldn't make him fight me if he's going to give him
I think
50 million
Joshua,
quid.
Usyk, and Joyce all pose
They're
interesting
not
questions.
my era. Usyk and Joyce are not my era.
Bullshit. Wait a minute. He said Usyk and Joyce is not in his era. The only person left is Joshua. Okay, but he's saying AJ won't fight him, whatever, all this bullshit. Bro, Usyk turned pro a year after this motherfucker did. He turned pro the same fucking time. The same year AJ turned pro. Usyk is older than fucking Fury. But he, when I was winning world titles, they was sucking his mama's nipple and all that shit. He's older than Fury, which is a stupid fucking thing that he continues to say. And basically, AJ fought Usyk. How the fuck, twice, how the fuck is Usyk not in your era? Mike Tyson was already a star. Before Holyfield, before Lennox Lewis, before Riddick Bowe. They're all in Tyson's era. He just never got around fighting Riddick Bowe. And Holyfield was making his way up from cruiserweight, lightweight, heavyweight, cruiserweight, went up to heavyweight. How is Usyk not in your era? How is he not in your era? And he turned pro the same year as Anthony Joshua. But only Joshua is in your era. The only thing that you can say, which still is irrelevant, is that, well, Usyk wasn't a heavyweight back then. So what? He's a heavyweight now. And he's also unified champ. This dude is full of shit, man.
When I was a champion, I was world heavyweight champion while they were boxing for a plastic cup. So the compliment.
I mean, either way, I think it adds to your
and
legacy.
they both still
when you
accomplish more than you
The thing
did.
that you underestimate, my friend, is I don't give one damn about legacy. Do you
You talk about it a fair bit, though, right? You talk about being the greatest.
Oh, he don't give a damn about legacy.
I don't talk about that at all. Because when I'm finished from boxing, do you know what? I don't care about what people think about me or how many belts I won or what fights didn't happen. It's no interest. You go back to all the press conferences and see. No interest in legacy, no interest in being remembered, no interest in belts. Check it
After
out.
your last...
This dude just said what I've been saying about him and so many other fighters of this era. They don't care about legacy. It's all about money. So if you don't care about legacy, what do you care about? First, you said you didn't care about the money. And remember how he claimed he took all the money he earned and donated and all that shit to charity, whatever right? Yeah, okay. We know that's bullshit because this is what you do for a living, right? So this is how you feed your family. He just sat here and said he don't care about legacy. But it's funny when Aries say it and other people say it, all these Fury fanboys, oh, no, he does care about legacy. No, he just fucking said out of his own mouth what I've been saying about him. And I know you don't care about legacy when you choose to fight Manuel Char, Derek fucking Chisora for a third time. I know you don't care about legacy. And he's already planning to try to fight Wilder a fourth fucking time. Please believe that shit. Please believe that shit. And it don't matter even if Joe Joyce would have been ready. You know why? Let's not forget. Joe Joyce tweeted this motherfucker, right? And he turns around and says, Joe Joyce has to build up his profile. He told Joe Joyce that in the response in his tweet. So it don't make a difference what he said. He don't want to fight Joe Joyce. All of a sudden, him and Joseph Parker are brothers now. So he won't fight him either. Yet, nobody wants to fight this motherfucker. Stop with that bullshit, man. See, I don't like bullshit. A lot of y'all do. I don't.
Okay, I have heard you say this before, but I've also heard you say, I'm the greatest of all time, many, many times. And to me, if that's not of interest of you, why say it?
Because I am. I beat any man born from his mother.
But you haven't proven that, is my point.
Bullshit.
You can't prove it because you can't go back in time and fight all the greats.
So shut the fuck up then.
I'm not saying.
Okay, well, I think.
What is it that you're getting at here anyway?
What I'm getting at is, I think the Chisora fight is is you're charging the great British public hard-earned money to watch this on pay-per-view, and when you've already beaten him twice and he's shown that he isn't nowhere near up to your level.
Twice, and people still paid for it.
I think Deontay Wilder is of a much more dangerous fight, hence why he put you down multiple times, whereas Chisora, he ain't going to put you down if he's in there with a hammer with you.
You know he can't put anybody down.
Well, I'm not saying he can't put anyone down, it's just he won't put you down.
How do you know that?
I don't believe so, because he struggled so much with you last time that the crowd were booing towards the end of the fight.
Chisora's done what he's got to do. No matter what you say or what people like you want to say about Derek Chisora, he's achieved more than in boxing and in fighting than 10 men like you could ever achieve.
I agree with you.
I'm not just going to let you sit here and slate somebody who's fought the best fighters of this era.
It's okay if you slight Anthony Joshua. It's okay if you slight your opponents that you don't have interest in.
He's exactly where he needs to be. He's a top 10 rated fighter, and he's done a lot. He's done a lot in the sport, and he deserves his payday.
Yeah, he fought a lot of good fighters and got beat.
Is this about the payday for Chisora for you a little bit? Is this you sorting out an old mate a little bit? I know you gave him your word.
Chisora does what he does, and he fights people and he gets his wins, and he's had more lives than a cat. But it is what it is. I'll be fighting Chisora, and that's it. Look forward to it. And if you don't want to watch it, then please don't. And if you do, tune in. And if you don't want to buy a ticket, don't buy a ticket. And if you do, we let the rest of the 50 or 60 odd thousand that's already bought tickets. So
one last question about Usyk.
I beg to differ with you, because there's already been over 60,000 tickets sold, so somebody's obviously interested in the fight.
So I think people are interested in you because you are great, and I don't dispute that for 1 second, Tyson. But what people really want is...
You can see where I'm coming from. I can't let you, probably never had a fight in your life, run Chisora down. He's fought everybody.
I'm not doing that.
I cannot let that happen.
Yeah, he fought everybody, but you didn't, motherfucker.
50 in fights, and
you didn't.
He's fought at world level. And he fought what is now the unified heavyweight champion of the world in Usyk, pushed him all the way. So somebody
he ain't fight everybody. He fought a lot of motherfuckers.
I never said he can't fight though. What I'm saying is
he fought more motherfuckers than you did.
Now, I don't think he should be getting a world title fight. And I think there's a potential in boxing for people to get badly hurt when they're mismatched. And I think that this is a mismatch.
I don't. I think the heavyweight fights and anything can happen. Don't write Derek Chisora off, because you're only one punch away from victory.
If Chisora does it, I think the world would be happy for him.
So if anything can happen, if Usyk can find a way to beat you, AJ can knock you the fuck out too.
Tyson, I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate you and Derek are legends of British boxing. All respect in that sense. And I wish
fight the motherfucker with 12 losses, trying to make it sound like you the best.
You're a tosser, you little top. And I won't be doing any more interviews with you, little top bearded.
No worries, mate. Thanks very much.
Kiss my balls, you little whack. You little shit house.
Have you worked out how to close this phone? Are you alright? Hit the button at the bottom.
We'll fucking on the other's phone off.
Well, that went well. You ever been cussed out by the heavyweight champion of the world? Probably not. Very glad I did this one on video call, because that could have been a painful end to my life. But equally, this fight is not a competitive fight, and I'm hoping to be proven wrong. It's my opinion. But I think a lot of people out there feel the same way. And from now on, I can't possibly be giving my fight opinions on videos and then interview someone and not say what I really think. And I did try and be as respectful as I could.
Yes, you did.
When he was like, "Oh, you're doing..."
You even kissed his ass.
And yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I'm not. I'm just saying he shouldn't be in there with you. I don't think he's on your level. We've seen that twice. Why was there a trilogy for Deontay Wilder? Because there was a level of jeopardy there. There's no fucking jeopardy here. Yeah, I get for Fury, he's in a difficult situation. He's picked the fight. He wants the fight to go ahead, and he's got to sell that fight. And I'm kind of poking holes in this, and, it's probably annoying. Fair play. You can say what he likes. I don't take myself seriously. Really don't give a shit, because I think a lot of people out there will want to hear him respond to that. And that's my fucking job at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's your fucking job.
So that you lot hear what you want to hear. So let's hope I don't see Tyson anytime soon. Because, just this chin... It's not, as you said, I'm a pretty boy. Okay, thanks for everyone who watched this video. Appreciate you all. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Well, let me just say, from what we just saw, He definitely got under Tyson Fury's skin. The guys over at Talk Sport got under his skin when they interviewed him because same thing. They were not asking him questions that he wanted to answer. They were they were asking him questions he didn't want to answer. They were giving him credit at the same time, calling themselves fans of his the same way this guy was. And this is how these fighters are. People in general, when they have a certain place where they're used to people kissing their ass, and then when they come across somebody who doesn't kiss their ass, it ends up being a situation where he's disrespecting the interviewer. That guy didn't disrespect Fury. He's asking him logical questions. Fury knows damn well he feels insulted because he wants his words to be enough to convince you that, no, you're wrong. Derek Chisora is a formidable opponent, and he deserves to be in there with me. By doing what? By doing what? Because he beat Pulev? Kubrat Pulev, after he got beat by AJ, he was AJ's mandatory. He disappeared for a little while. Shannon Briggs and Quentin Rampage Jackson had this thing where they had boxers versus MMA guys in a boxing ring. And he went in there and went against Frank Mir, and the shit lasted like a few seconds because he wound up catching Frank Mir with a shot, and Frank was stumbling all over the ring, and Pulev had mercy on him. Okay, he disappears again, and he comes back, and he's in a fight with Derek Chisora. And at the end of the day, you pick those names because they're weak opponents. Every division has had a Derek Chisora. They had that person that's respected, but they're known to put up a good fight, so there will be some interest there, but it's easy money. And that's all this is. Nobody is going to convince me this motherfucker reached out to all these people. There's some foreigners in there. I could have picked that nobody knows them. Man, stop that bullshit. You claim nobody knows Usyk and that he's a foreigner. Well, you're calling people a foreigner to your country, right? Because when you leave your country and go to another country, you're the foreigner. You know, and it's like this guy is just so arrogant and so full of himself. He's angry because he wanted people to clamor to this fight. And this also lets him know, Fury, you have some type of star power, but you are not. You are not that guy. You need the right dance partner. Stop it. And by people questioning him in this fight, he feels insulted by that. Well, I know the rumor that I heard about the amount of tickets that was sold, which I really don't care on a personal level. But that's why I haven't been covering this fight, you know, anything with him and Chisora. But this particular interview got my attention, and I said, wow. And I had watched like a few minutes of it, then I said, now let me do the video as I'm doing it right now. And I wanted to do it this way. And listen, y'all, it is what it is. I'm not, you know, like I said, for me, as far as I don't know if I even want to watch the fight at all, even the replay. But I'm definitely not going to do videos about him and Chisora. It was just basically for this reason that he talked about the things that he did in his videos, why I did this video. So talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.